Welcome to Cleveland, Ohio. This is Lakeview Cemetery that was founded in 1869. It spans 285 acres and has 104,000 graves. And they are still burying people to this day, so it's going to have even more than that. So not only is it notable for all of its amazing landscaping, but there's a dam here. There are numerous chapels, as well as tons of mausoleums like this gigantic one behind us. And there are lots of urban myths like the Hazara Angel and amazing sculptures all over the place. So we're going to show you guys just a little bit about that and a few things as we take a stroll through here and we shoot some photos. All right, so this one that's behind me is the Hannah Mausoleum. This one is humongous. If you look around the side of it, this has gargoyles on all four corners with these amazing columns spanning the front. Now, I don't know how many people are actually buried in this one, but I do know that it has a massive entryway on both sides. And I took some shots of the inside, but I'll see if I can put the camera up here for you guys to see better of what's in there. You can see that there are crypts on either side, as well as, you know, some light fixtures in there. This one is very well maintained. And like I said, not only does it have these two amazing entryways on both sides, it has this very well maintained walkway here. Probably one of the best entryways I've seen to any mausoleum that I've been to. You can see here it just wraps around down to the road, down where Tawny's at, and where we parked down there on the street. So Lakeview Cemetery is amazing. So if you ever come to Cleveland, Ohio, this is a must stop, I'm telling you guys. Alright, so one of my favorite stops here at Lakeview Cemetery is situated right here behind me, and this is the Hazara Angel, aka the Angel of Death. The Hazara Angel was commissioned by Francis Hazara after the death of his wife. Now, the story has it that the Hazara Angel, aka the Angel of Death, is going to come and kill you in your sleep if, when you come visit her, you don't leave an offering here at her feet. So this isn't only one of my favorite parts of the cemetery, but it is a must stop every time I come to Lakeview Cemetery, and you better believe that I leave an offering just for good measure every time I come. So if you're ever here in the cemetery or in Cleveland, make a stop and see the Hazara Angel. So in addition to the many urban legends that this cemetery holds and all the famous people that are buried here, there's tons of mausoleums and cool sculptures and statues everywhere. And this is a super picturesque cemetery, you know, even more so than the one that we looked at yesterday. And almost anywhere you point your camera, you're gonna get a good photo. So this is Wade Chapel, the outside of it. Over here is where all the mausoleums are that I wanna take some shots of. And like I said, all cemeteries pale in comparison, not just because of everything we've talked about here so far, but there's a pond down here as well. So like I said, there's so much history. I'm sure you heard the lady in there talking about Tiffany and the Tiffany company, you know, doing all the work inside there and all of the detailed tile work and all of that, as well as the stained glass windows inside there. So we're gonna walk down this trail and go down here, check out the lake, or the pond rather. So this is the back side of the chapel of Wade Chapel. There's the stained glass window up there, and like the lady in there was saying, there is a basement that's closed to the public, but before they could dig graves out in the wintertime, they would store caskets in here until the ground was soft enough and the earth was warm enough for them to dig in. But it's pretty cool, Lakeview Cemetery. Alright, so one of the other notable figures born here in Lakeview Cemetery is Alan Freed. Rock and roll was born in Cleveland. He was a radio disc jockey and coined the phrase rock and roll in 1951. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera on his tombstone, and you can read through that if you want. And you can see where people have left guitar picks, and people have left rocks for rock and roll, and they've left bracelets from concerts and shows. And if you go around to the back of his tombstone, he has a jukebox engraved on it. One of the cooler tombstones here at Lakeview Cemetery, and one that you definitely need to stop and see if you're a music lover. Alright, so I by no means am just a cemetery photographer, so if you're just tuning in on some of the recent videos, that may be what you're thinking. I do love cemeteries and I do shoot them a lot, but I'm not a cemetery photographer, nor am I like a cemetery historian. I just really enjoy them. Last thing I want to show you guys here in Lakeview Cemetery is these mausoleums. So this is directly near the Wade Chapel. There's the Wade Chapel where we were, and here's some of the mausoleums. And I just want to show you guys some of these amazing mausoleums, and I'm not going to take a lot of photos of them because we did that in yesterday's vlog. And honestly, conditions out here are the worst conditions for a photographer. You have clear blue skies up there, so it makes it really hard to get a good photo of anything. Plus, it's just not the right time of day. But you can see some of these are built into the hill, which are really, really gnarly. Some of these are actually collapsing on the inside, so they've concreted, you know, the doorways, and they've concreted the windows. Like this one here is gated off, so I don't know if the family still has access to this or not, but you can see that they've concreted the window. And some of these, like this one here, is the same way, and they've also concreted the door. But just, you know, the sheer craftsmanship of these is just amazing. You know, like you can look at the peak of the roof up there, how that was done. You know, some of these are more ornate than others, like the columns on that one, or some of the bigger ones we've looked at today, like the windows here, stained glass here, stained glass on the back. It's just amazing. Like I said, if I had my way, this is how I would be buried, and with my family in a mausoleum. And then, you know, the caskets or the crypts, the burial vaults line each wall, and you know, you're all in there housed and buried together. You know, to me that just seems like an awesome way to go. And you know, I would not mind being buried in this cemetery. You know, it's probably really, really expensive, but you know, I mean, look at it. It is very picturesque. It is very quiet and relaxed, even though it's in the middle of the hustle and bustle that is Cleveland. But that's Lakeview Cemetery, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this quick overview of it. Like I said, I could make hours and hours and hours of content just going around the cemetery and showing you guys all of the cool things, but I highly recommend, if you're ever in the area, you stop by here, you check it out, because not only is it a great place to stop and like take a picnic, walk around the pond, do some historical things around, or see some, you know, some notable figures that have been buried here, you know, or if you're just into the graveyard cemetery aspect of it like I am, you know, you could spend, you know, half a day walking around here. So Lakeview Cemetery, check it out. That basically is it for this one, guys. I don't want to go too long on this, but as always, stay rad, just go shoot, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.